Hello, welcome to this review of Lego Creator Set 31131 Downtown Noodle Shop. This has 569 pieces, is rated for ages 8 plus, contains 2 minifigures, retailed for $45 USD, and retired at the end of December of 2023. And without further ado, let's get into the review. Starting first, of course, here we have the minifigures, of which this set contains 2. The first one being this kind of chef guy here that we would have cooking the noodles traditionally in your restaurant here, which we will obviously get to in a second. Now, it's a pretty good figure. It's pretty basic as far as a lot of figures go. Just kind of the plain white like chef's coat with some basic little detailing there. Not a whole lot going there on the back, and then some basic darker tan legs, and of course with an accessory being the meat cleaver there. I'm not sure what he's doing noodle related to that. Maybe he's chopping up some meat to put in the noodles or something, like some chicken or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's a pretty decent little figure here. And the second figure of which is your generally I believe it's meant to be like the customer and stuff, although that changes depending on which version of the set you build, which I'm going over the main version here. And yeah, I like this figure a lot more. I do like the coat and stuff there a lot, with a decent amount of detailing here on the back, as well as the kind of like blue undershirt there in the front. And I think it's a very neat figure and stuff. And then, of course, you got like the jeans and stuff. But I think my favorite part about the figure is the coat. There is also some little details here. I'll pop the hairpiece off there. No back face on either of these figures, I believe. But she does have like a hearing aid there, which is kind of neat, as well as that very cool chopstick piece, of which I believe there is two, one of them being like an extra piece there, but that's definitely one that I'm setting aside because I really do like that piece. That's a very neat piece there. But yeah, that's about all for the figures. And next we'll move on to the set itself, although there's one thing that I do need to mention about the animals first there. So the build itself here consists of a couple different builds, one being this kind of ice cream cart here, and then the other being the actual build itself, which does convert into a couple different versions depending on how you want to display it. This is of course the main version of the set as depicted on the front of the box there. But there is one note about the animals of this set. The one here is a little bird, which kind of just sits on top of here and is present in the first version of the set like this. The other is that dog there, which looks kind of cool. It's not like a huge addition to the set, which is why I wasn't too worried about it. But I did lose that part of the set. I do not know where it went when I went to review this. Looked everywhere, could not find it. So I do apologize for not having that in this video for the sake of completeness, excuse me. But just know that that is a thing made of like some of the other pieces of the set that is not going to be in this video, but it's a decent little build seemingly, and that's why I didn't really it's not like a huge hit to the build here. I just forgot to grab it. I could not find it where I looked. But yeah, moving on to the set itself here. Now it does feel a little bit goofy to put the ice cream cart here on this big old turntable, but we're gonna go with it for now. It's a neat little build. I definitely really do like it. I definitely think it adds to this set's value and stuff. Makes great use of some of the pieces that are used for other purposes in the other versions of the set. But yeah, I think it's a pretty neat little build. Does make use of like some of those ice cream cone pieces, a little bit darker than you typically see with a lot of like Lego City style like ice cream cones and stuff. But that is all right. Definitely darker than the top ice cream cone on the top of the build there. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. It has just the right amount of detail, and definitely includes like some of the different flavors and stuff around there, which is kind of neat. So you have like some of your different flavor options and stuff, as you can kind of see in there, and you get all 4 of those colors on the top there. So it's kind of like, oh, these are all your options and stuff. Like all your options are kind of displayed on the main kind of draw of the thing, which is kind of neat. And then you have a nice little sign there that is a sticker, because there are handful of stickers placed throughout the set, although I don't think they're too much of a pain. There's no like crazy weird curve stickers or anything that I remember. But yeah, I think this is a pretty detailed little build, and I definitely like it. But yeah, let's move on to the main portion of the set now, which is probably why most of you guys are here and sticking around this long. But yeah, I think this is a neat little build that definitely adds a bit of value, gets to the set as a whole, and time to move on. Now, the main part of this build here comes in the Noodle Shop itself, which, as you can see, can fold and open up, but you can also display in a closed form, which I personally prefer, and will probably be modifying it into some sort of a weird, like, half to a quarter modular building because it's quite small. Maybe I'll expand it a little bit, but that holds no weight on this video. Really, the ability to turn it into like a modular style building, but I do like that it closes up and stuff because I personally much prefer like enclosed buildings and stuff in Lego, and with some nice logic on how you can get in and out. I just kind of prefer that personally. That is a kind of personal preference, but I do really like the fact that it does close up for the purpose of the review. At the moment, we are going to keep it open. Now, I do want to mention real quick, once that part is closed up, you will have this extra spot right here, which can be removed quite easily. As you can see, kind of just a couple pins holding it on, which is a very nice vending machine. I do like the design and stuff, and the pieces that it uses are used quite creatively in some of the other models, which we will unfortunately not be going over in this video because um, I'm not going to tear this thing apart and rebuild it a few separate times, although I have tried that in the past. Doesn't really work out all that well. But yeah, I think it's a pretty neat little module of this set here, and has its own very nice stuff with the kind of brick built lamppost there rather than the like full style lamppost. Gives you kind of more pieces and stuff for the other builds, but I do really like its design, as well as the inclusion of a little street sign there, which is quite nice, being a creator street there, and that it's in itself could find its way into the Lego city eventually. But let's just move that off to the side because I don't feel like trying to add that back onto there. Just so you, just for future reference, there is a secondary spot where you can put the pins, so you can orient that in different directions, or you could, in theory, butt this up against each other like that, and then have it like closed off, like close it like that, and make it stick. So there's multiple ways of displaying this set, or setting up kind of almost like a dollhouse so that you have it like that, and you can play it like that. I'm not going to force it right now because there's a pin right there, so I don't want to break that pin. But yeah, just looking at the exterior of the building, I think it looks pretty good, and obviously with that in there, it looks even better. But yeah, I think for a little creator set like this, the piece, like the way the pieces are located and stuff, is very creative. I really do like this model. Um, with all sorts of cool little details like the sign and stuff there, and the kind of like open air feel to the restaurant, because like this theoretically would be bumped up against a sidewalk, and then this is just all open and you can just kind of walk in and sit down and then like order your food and stuff right there. If I can get in real close, you can kind of see the sticker detailing, I believe, on the like curtains there and stuff, which is really cool in my opinion, and I do love the like billboard and stuff. This is just overall a very good looking set. Now, turning it to the back here, we'll have a quick look at the interior of the build. Starting on the second floor here, we will take a look at the kind of like housing area, although there's no like bed or bathroom or anything. This is a pretty small set, all things considered, and when it's built, like that's my hand next to it. But yeah, it's makes pretty good use of that little living space. You even have like a little radio, I apologize for the lighting, a little like lamp, some flowers, and then you have this very nice chair, which I do really like the design and might steal it for some models of my own. And then just like a cool little rug there. And then over on this side, you kind of have a little like extra accessible area. It's just kind of like a little lump right there. So all that stuff is right next to the chair there, which would be a little bit hard to access if you walk in. You walk in here and then you got to climb over the chair to get to that. But that's not really much of a critique because they are making do with this very small space here. One of the inclusions details over here is a nice little Lego newspaper there, which is pretty cool. I do love the little inclusions of the just like random newspapers and stuff. And then of course you have a nice little potted plant on an end table and some logistics providing roof access, which I think is a very nice inclusion. You can reasonably get a minifigure to be like climbing up there and then get onto the roof, which we'll take a look at here in a second. But we're going to move down to the first floor here, which includes like this little kitchen area and stuff, so that your chef there can cook the noodles and stuff. Which I think there's some pretty like it's a pretty nice design here. Obviously, the little kitchenette thing here is tucked underneath the stairs, so you get like a you don't really gain any extra space, but you still kind of you got like that little stepping thing there, so it makes great use of the space that is given to it there. And then you have like a little tool rack and stuff, which is kind of nice. But moving over to like the serving area, so it's there's no little like cashier area. It's kind of just like walk in and then you're just there, although there's not like a ton of room for it and stuff. I think it makes a pretty good use of the space there. You got some standing area where you can put your guy, so technically you only have like 3 studs of interior space right there between there and there, which I mean, I think it gives you enough to make it look not like super confined and stuff from the outside. Like standing a minifigure there, you can have a decent amount of posability for him there. But I do think it's a pretty neat space there, although it's a little bit hard to get some light in there to show like properly some of the details, although there's not like a ton to it. And then there's like a little window here, which could be played around with maybe for like orders or something, or just extra airflow, although the entire front's open, so you probably don't need the airflow all that much. Then obviously there's another window on the other side, which could be also used for like orders, or possibly for more airflow there. But yeah, I think it's a pretty nice interior overall down here on the bottom. Definitely makes a pretty good use of the space. Kind of gets all your basics. You got your serving area and your kitchen area there, so you can reasonably play with them. Be like, oh, you can cook the noodles here, and then you can give them to the customers here. So it's got some pretty good play value in that aspect. But now moving on to the roof, which we kind of showed off a tad. Obviously a pretty small roof for a pretty small building, but I really do like that there's roof access. And a lot of sets like this, you might not necessarily get that, where it's like shows how it could be functional and stuff, which I really do like. And they have kind of like a bonsai style tree on the top there, which is pretty cool. I love the aesthetic of that it looks, and would definitely look good in like a city area, just a little bit of green space on top of some of the buildings and stuff. Definitely is definitely interesting and a benefit to a lot of like cities and stuff, which are fairly like colorless. Although this is a fairly colorful build for like a city style city building with your greens and your kind of like peach-ish. I don't know the exact Lego terminology for that color, but yeah, and that's even got like a little antenna and stuff there. Although there's no like TVs or anything that I can remember. I'm pretty sure that is just supposed to be a painting, and then there's a radio that has its own antenna. So I'm not entirely sure what this little antenna is necessarily connected to. If I'm just being absolutely dumb, then you can throw that in the comments if you like have an idea and what it is and I'm just overlooking something. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good model overall. And although it's been around for a little while if you see it. It's definitely a neat little thing for kid to play with, or even just has some good capacity to be modified into something that I might throw it on a Mills plate and stick it in my city, more than likely. But it's definitely a neat building, and I really enjoy this model. The other models do look fairly promising, with like a video game store and then like a bike shop, it looks like. But this is my preferred state of it being in, and that's how I'm probably going to leave it for quite a while. But yeah, I think it packs a decent amount of features and stuff, and is definitely a very nice build. And if you can find it, I mean, I'd recommend it, although it's probably a little bit difficult at the moment to find it. But yeah, I think it's a pretty neat little set, and definitely worth looking at if you're looking to make like a city or something. Definitely a worthwhile set, maybe to part together or something. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool, and hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Bye.